Hello, hello. I look terrible, but whatever. I have been through some really rough times recently, and when I feel depressed, I always cut my hair really short. And that's a real bummer. And anyway, this is not a bathrobe here. This is a sweater I made for inside the house because it's always cold here, and I sew baby blankets, fleece blankets together, and I make them double layer, and it has a lot of peace signs on it, and it's always a lot of peace and love. And I just want to talk real briefly before this cuts off. Cuts off always like after 5 minutes or something, and then I have to redo the whole video. But so I'm gonna keep it like under 5 minutes. But anyway, I just wanted to say I've been thinking a whole lot lately about all of this, about my deep sadness and despair, and my family, and my dad hanging up the phone, and me falling into a deep abyss, and come to the realization now that this is ridiculous. My dad is who he is, and I am most likely not going to convert him to think differently than he does. And if he hangs up the phone, that's his business. You know, it really doesn't have anything to do with me as a person. But it was impossible for me to realize about a week or two ago. But then after I have gone through all this, first I was in denial about it, then I felt like this volcano arising from deep within my guts, and then I couldn't defend myself against it, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then whoever I talked to from my family, they just rubbed it in even deeper, because there's always this blaming in the air, you know, blaming me basically. I mean, not deliberately or anything, but it's like this aura of blaming me hangs in the air like a thick fog or something. And because I'm different, see, people like to conform, and when somebody is different, it's gotta be that different person's fault, right? So wrong, because it's not the truth. Because if everybody started to think a little bit, then pretty soon they would, you know, if they really introspected, they would find the incongruences within themselves and their own ways of thinking, and they would realize, oh, I have been lied to, I have adopted bullshit beliefs or ideations, and I have killed myself, and this all feels really uncomfortable, and therefore it's a whole lot easier to blame it on the person who's different, or the person who suggests an alternative way of thinking. So I'm coming to the realization now, it is not me, no matter what somebody says to me. And if somebody says to me my face looks like hell, and that happened also around that same time, which, I mean, it's like all coming together, and it, you know, it doesn't feel good, you know, to be called such terrible names and to be criticized like that. I mean, it's like crystal clear for me when somebody says something like that nasty. It doesn't matter if I look like Quasimodo, which I probably do to some people, but it, you know, we don't go up to somebody who is like disfigured and say to them, hey, your face is hell. We don't do that kind of stuff, you know, because we're kind and caring, right? And we don't feel the need to lift ourselves up to to, you know, on the expense of someone else. But some people have that need, and well, of course it says way more about the person who insults than anyone else, right? I mean, it says that the person who insults got some really heavy shit cooking, and they really need to work that out. But that's a different story. Those are the trolls, those are the haters. They're not part of my life. They make me depressed sometimes, but they don't define who I am. You know, I define who I am. You define who you are. You know, that's all that matters. And if somebody has a problem with your clothes, haircut, eyebrows, unibrows, mouth shape, nose, whatever, it's their problem. It's not your problem. And man, so many people fall into this trap of fitting just right in like a puzzle piece, you know, so that they fall under the radar or above the radar or beyond the radar of social critical inspection. Society means nothing to us. I mean, it just has nothing to say. I mean, unless it is true love. I haven't seen the message of true love coming from the whole of society yet. Not yet. Once that happens, then we can listen, okay? But then there will be no more judgment of anybody. So I just wanted to say that I feel a lot better, and I'm doing my own affirmations, and I'm really, really starting to understand that I am valuable just the way I am. You know, I don't need to bend down to the neurotic needs of anyone else. So, and neither do you. Okay, you take care. Bye.